Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Erica back for another video. Before I begin, I want to say happy New Year to everyone. We made it through. I made it through. Yay. So, bringing in the new year, before I begin with my recap, I wasn't physically able to go into a church, so I tuned in to Creflo Dollar, and his word was magnificent. He spoke on faith, how we can have faith in God when it comes to a lot of things in our lives, but when it comes to our finances, we don't have much faith in Him. We choose to do things on our own, and I'm definitely guilty of that. So I had to ask God for forgiveness and moving forward in my life, I plan not to do the same thing. Um, New Year's Day, I tuned into Deliverance Tabernacle Christian Center for church service, and it was also magnificent. He spoke on faith as well. He spoke on prosperity. He spoke on blessings, and how this year is the year. So this is definitely my year, recovering from my health scare, recovering from just a lot of things, healing, mentally, physically, naturally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I'm going to definitely experience all of that this year and come out better than ever. So, um, as I said before, I do want to take you all along for the ride. So, quick recap for those of you who are just now tuning in. Please excuse me for coughing. I still have a lot of acid in my body. And when I get overworked or agitated or frustrated or excited, I tend to cough a lot. I'm definitely excited right now because I have some news from the doctor. So, recap. December 16th, I literally drove myself to the ER instead of going to work because I was experiencing some abdominal pain, abdominal pain, and found out that I had a kidney infection, and that kidney infection turned into a blood infection, which caused for sepsis. And during that time, the doctors informed me not many people survive from sepsis. So I was in a very critical state. I was not yet placed in ICU up until I had developed pneumonia. Um, they said that the pneumonia came about from me aspirating. I was eating and drinking while on a regular unit, and all of my food and drink was literally going into my lungs, causing me to drown. So, hence, that turned into me developing pneumonia. So, I ended up in ICU. I had an oxygen machine that was literally breathing 90% for me. Everything was not looking good. I kept the faith, kept praying, kept singing, kept quoting scripture because my faith in God is miraculous. Let me just say, I am a huge believer in miracles. I have faith and know that God is real. He does exist. So, and that's entirely another story, just bringing you up to why I ended up with this health condition that led me into the hospital. So now, new year, I'm at my second appointment, first appointment of the year, seeing my doctor post having been in the hospital. And the information she provided to me is basically, my stress levels were extreme. And in communicating with her on some things, we found out where all of my stress comes from. I am a social worker. I've been in social work for 8 years, 8.5 years to be exact. And she expressed to me how social work is a very stressful job. Not many people know how stressful social work can actually be, and that for my health, I should definitely look for another line of work because it was my kidneys, then it was my stomach, then it was my livers, it was a lot of different things that seemed to be going wrong in my body. And the medications they put me on, I was literally taking 3 different stool softeners and a laxative and a suppository while in the hospital, just so that I can have bowel movement. Since I've been home, this is literally day 2 of me not having a bowel movement. I expressed that to my doctor. So, long story short, my doctor back in October put me on Linzess. My health insurance chose not to cover it. It was a 700 something, almost $800 pill. And I went to the manufacturer, got a coupon, and they still wanted me to pay $300 out of pocket. I couldn't afford it, so I left the medication there. I suffer from a chronic stomach infection, chronic constipation, based on what I went through back in 2018, having giving birth to a child that is no longer with us. Um, with that being said, my bowel had been in me for literally 3 weeks, and it started to rot away. That's the best way I could put it. It started to rot away, and that's what caused the UTI I knew nothing of, and it later on affected my kidneys. That was my wake up call, because the Thursday before Friday, I woke up around 3 something in a lot of pain. And I was just like, I'm gonna go to work and take a pain pill. And, by the weekend, if I'm still in pain, I'll go to the hospital, because I'm not missing work. You know, my children will be home. They won't be at school. So I don't have to worry about calling someone to go pick them up or anything like that. Well, by Friday, I couldn't even make it to work. It was just that bad. And my son was like, Mom, you need to go. My oldest son, he's very gifted. I feel like God has gifted him with the spirit of not only discernment, but to know a little bit about what's going to happen when something bad is about to occur. Like when my grandmother passed away, the day she was getting ready to leave, he said, Mom, today's her last day. We need to go give her one more hug and kiss. I'm like, no, you're going to school. Went to school, and I got the call while I was at work. My grandmother passed away. By the time I got to my son's school, I dried my face so it didn't look like I was crying. And he literally ran up to me and was like, she's gone now, Mom. She's no longer here. And that's when I broke down. And then the same thing back in March 2018, I was carrying their brother, and my son woke up and he was like, Mom, you and the baby are dying. You need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, nope, you're going to school. I have a dinner date with my best friend. Your sister has a hair appointment. No. And he was just like, Mom, you need to go to the hospital. Long story short, I told him no, up until my water broke when I was on the toilet. And by that time, he said, Mom, the baby's dead and you're dying. And sure enough, by the time I got to the hospital, they had to revive me. And I ended up in a coma. By the time I came out of that coma, they informed me that my son had passed away in my father's arms. So imagine me, I was hysterical. I'm in ICU. At that time, I had literally tubes going down my mouth because I wasn't breathing on my own. They didn't understand why I kept coming out of the coma, and I wasn't breathing on my own. I was alert enough to know I was in ICU and my baby was nowhere in the room. So at that time, I started trying to pull the tubes out. They sedated me, put me back to sleep. And the last time I woke up, which was literally the third time, I was tied down to the bed, and I just refused to move because I'm like, if I move, they're going to put me back to sleep. And I did not want to go back to sleep. I was tearing up, and it took me a while to come out of ICU. So when it came to this particular time, I chose not to be lax when it came to him saying, you need to go to the hospital. So at today's appointment, besides her telling me that I need to really think about changing my line of work, to keep my stress levels down. She said that all of the stool softeners and the constipation medication, I'm sorry, the laxative they put me on is not working. So we're back to the Linzes pill, and my insurance company will now cover it. So I'll be picking that up tomorrow. That way I can go, and whew, I'll feel a lot better. Yesterday was extremely hard for me. I literally felt like I was finna stroke out. I don't know what was going on, but the entire right side of my body was in so much pain. My chest felt extremely tight. My heart felt like it was skipping multiple beats at a time, and they were dragging. So I was just like, okay, I'm allergic to Sudafed. Per my doctor, I can't take anything ibuprofen because of the acid buildup. So I pretty much had to drink some warm water and lay myself down with the throat lozenger so I could stop coughing. And I went to sleep. Woke up this morning, I felt better, but I have this lingering headache. And then I have the abdominal pain on my right side. Again, everyone, I am not a skinny girl. I don't consider myself to be big either. I don't know if you can see. Sorry. Don't know if you can see all of me, but yeah. So that's me. Um, so yeah. Again, I hope you all can take this journey with me. Getting back to good health. I do plan tomorrow to start back doing my water aerobics. That was definitely helping me to lose weight because I can go hard and not feel anything until after. And even still, it doesn't stop me from wanting to work out the next day. My fitness group has dissolved. I was with MVP Fitness. Latoya Gregory, shout out to her. She was my coach, my personal trainer. She moved away, so I don't believe she's in Florida. But we used to run all the time every Saturday. And every day during the week, we had some kind of workout routine that we did. So with the studies, the workout material she left behind during the time I was under her training, I will be doing that also. Also, while trying to control my stress levels. So again, thank you all for tuning in to my channel. May God bless and keep you. You all look amazing. I read everyone's comments, literally everyone's comments, and I must say the prayers were loudly heard. I'm claiming my healing. I will not be defeated. The devil is defeated, not me. So until next time, love you all. One love always.